Alright, Shalom, Yeshua. Before I begin, I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory into Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Kakudash. Double honor to elders and apostles, Green Millstone, peace and translation unto the elect. Today's lesson is going to be on, don't be carnal minded, don't walk in don't walk in this flesh, because I noticed, I watched the video that a brother sent me, it was Yapa, it was a Yapa video, which means beautiful. It was very edifying and uplifting. And one of the points they brought up in that video was that you can't be walking in this flesh, because this flesh is gonna tempt you to do certain things, and if you keep on making the same mistake over and over, it's eventually gonna lead to your destruction, if you don't get it right, because at the end of the day, that's the Lord trying to make you catch on to that mistake that you're making. And I took that and I ran with it. I was sitting down watching a video, and I was like, man, I'm right here, I'm watching a video. I have free time. Well, why not make a lesson? Why not do something for the Lord that's gonna benefit me? You know what I mean? Instead of trying to please the flesh and do nothing all day, because sometimes you have that feeling of slothfulness where you're just lazy. You don't want to do anything. You got home from school or from work, or you just got done working out or whatever, or you got done running some errands. Sometimes you just want to sit down and chill. But when that spirit gets on you, you're like, hey man, let me do something for the Lord. You know what I mean? And I realized I was making a very big mistake, as to my mind was thinking very very carnal things. My mind was thinking very carnal things. It was thinking about, it was like some demons get on you, and it's, what the fuck, like they get on you, and you're like, what the fuck, man? But those are those demons. That's the Lord testing you, see what you're gonna do. And I got that feeling of being being I'm just saying how it is. I was being sexually aroused. It seemed like anything I would do, something sexual would pop up, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like what the like I was watching a fight press conference. Come to find out, one of the fighters are a porn star. Like what the like, it's crazy, man. I can't even go on Instagram without even seeing some sexual shit, and it just like you see it, and then I started thinking about it, and then I remembered that video. I was like, man, I'm thinking way too carnally, like I'm thinking way too much about this sex stuff. I have to cool it. I have to chill. I have to come back to the Lord, because at the end of the day, it ain't about pleasing this flesh. And I'm not saying you're going off by having sex. If you have sex, I can't tell you what to do. Do what you're gonna do, but don't have that on your mind 24/7. You know what I mean? Like I was getting into that point where it was almost on my mind, like constantly, man. So you have to stop it before it begins. You know what I mean? So this is Romans 8:6. For to be carnally minded is death. Right, man. So when you're constantly thinking about carnal shit, like, oh, I'm gonna get my dick wet, or I'm a I'm a fight this nigga, and I'm gonna get money and this and that. That's death. Like Biggie would say, money, hoes, and clothes. And what happened to him? He's dead. He got shot. But to be spiritually minded is life and peace, right, man? So when you're thinking about, man, what can I do for the Lord? Or man, that keynote is gonna be good. that kingdom is gonna be fire. Like, man, I can't wait for the destruction of this world, man. I like when you're constantly thinking about these spiritual things, your mind is gonna be cleansed. Your mind is gonna be cleansed. But because we're in the spirit, I mean, it's like because we're in this flesh, occasionally we're gonna have those those wicked thoughts, but you gotta fight it off. You know what I mean? Verse 7, because the carnal mind is enmity against our power, Yahweh. Right, man. So that carnal mind, the Lord don't like that. Constantly thinking about carnal shit. Like, oh, I'm gonna get this new car, or when I get off work, I'm gonna, I'm gonna do stuff with my lady, or like, like, just that one simple step. Like, hold on, let me put this off for a little bit, and let me do something for the Lord, or let me stop thinking about this. Let me think about some spiritual stuff. That simple thing can take you a long ways. Because now you're not thinking about carnal stuff. You're thinking about spiritual stuff. And that spiritual stuff, when you're thinking about it, it gets you thinking about more spiritual stuff. And eventually you're going to be more spiritually involved. For it is not subject to the law of Yahweh, and neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh. Right, man? So you can't please the Lord if you're in this flesh. And it doesn't mean you can't please the Lord when you're in this earth. That's not what it's talking about. Obviously, the Lord knows we fall short because we're in this flesh. But at the same time, the Lord really taking into account those people who are really trying. So don't be playing yourself. That's another thing. Don't be playing yourself in this truth, because you can really feel like you're doing stuff for the Lord. You're popping out lessons. You're doing this, you're doing that. Yet you're being a nigga off camera. Don't be doing that. And I'm not gonna lie, that was I was kind of in that spirit in the beginning of this truth. And then I found the Lord chastised me to Tawari helped me outside, and He got me out of that spirit. Verse 9, but ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. If so be that in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai dwell in you. Right, man? So, if you really, serious about this truth, the Lord is going to help you out. The Lord is going to dwell in you. You know what I mean? The Lord is going to help you out. Now, if any man have not the spirit of Hamashiach, he is none of his. Right, man? So if you're not in that spirit, if you're not in the Lord's spirit, if you're constantly thinking about carnal stuff, if you're constantly thinking about, hitting a lick, or damn, she got a fat ass, let me hit, like, you ain't going nowhere, bro. Keep it real. You're not going nowhere. But if you're trying your best to think, to do stuff for the Lord, and you're not caught up in this world, and if you're not like thinking about the future of this world, and your future plans are to make it to the kingdom, hey man, call out Bashim outside, because because remember, 2/3 of our nation, and our nation alone, only 2/3 are gonna die. You know how much that is, man. 2/3 are gonna die. They're gonna die a horrible death. So you really have to, and only 144,000 are the elect members. And the scriptures say to make your calling and election sure. So you really have to think about the percentage of you really being part of that, elect. So you have to humble yourself down too. Because, man, it's a blessing enough that you were Israelite. Hell, you and the names of the Lord, how about you outside? That's even a bigger blessing. The Lord dealing with you. It's even the biggest blessing you could get. That the Lord is dealing with you. That you're not thinking carnally. don't take that shit for granted, man. Think about how you were in the world, and now look at yourself now. How much you've grown. You know, because sometimes you beat yourself up. You know, like, man, fuck, man. Like, I'm not, but think about how far you gone. You know, humble yourself, yeah. But don't beat yourself up till you fucking say, fuck it. You know, I'm doing this shit wrong anyways. Might as well give up. Nah, man. Keep going. Verse 10. And if Hamashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the spirit is life because of righteousness. Right, man? So, you have to do to the best of your ability, live in the spirit. And that doesn't mean, that doesn't mean, oh, I'm gonna, I'm gonna kill myself, or oh, I'm gonna completely, abandon this, like, there's gonna be a point in time where, yeah, we're gonna abandon all these things we have now. But as of right now, you have the liberty to use this, to go out and buy groceries, to to work, to pay your rent, and yeah, it's a living hell. But right now the Lord is blessing, blessing you with food, with a roof over your head, So yeah, this is Galatians 5:16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Right, man. So sometimes you going sometimes you're gonna fall short, right? Sometimes you're gonna fall short, but guess what? If you're walking in the spirit, you understand that you're gonna fall short. But it's not about how many times you fall; it's about how many times you get up. It's about how far you can keep pushing. It's about how much you can fight. Cause brothers go through a lot of shit, man. A lot. It ain't. It is not easy to be in this truth. And I know this is off topic, but it gets you irritated when some stupid fucking mockers come at the elders, man. They've been in this for 40, 30, however much years it was. You gonna tell me it's hard enough as it is right now with all these Israelites being awakened. Imagine how hard it was back then when they was in this truth. 1980s, 1990s. You gonna tell me that you know more than the elders and apostles of Great Millstone? You you gonna tell me you've been in this truth for 3 years and all of a sudden you aside the elders and God chose me and I know more than you, and man, the fuck is wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with you? You got some fucking demons in you, man. And it gets you irritated, it gets you pissed off because these elders, man. It's lucky for going off topic, man, but that just, that gets you pissed. That gets you frustrated, man. But, it's lucky for going off topic. It was just in my spirit to bring that out, But like I was saying, walk in the spirit, man. Don't be in this flesh, man. Because at the end of the day, what feels good now is not gonna feel good later. Whatever you're doing now, you gonna look back when these 2/3 are burning with that nuclear fire. They're gonna look back at the prophets who told them, like, damn, if I had put down that pork chop. And the woman, they gonna be like, damn, if I didn't get that abortion, Man, like one of the Hakim said, man, if you wear a fucking condom, man, don't abort a child, man. You know how wicked that is, man. You killing a whole living thing before it even has a chance to see the world, man. Use a damn condom if you're gonna fuck it, man. Ooh, golly, this place is wicked, man. Oh. Man, we gotta get that out of here, man. It's lucky, man. But my point is said. With that, want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Lord, when this is edifying. Shalom.